The most important skill set for any leader looking to build a healthy and high-performing team is to be a good coach for their people. Google did a study to rank the top 10 behaviors that define high-performing leaders, and what they found was that coaching was the number one most important skill. But in order to be a great coach and a great leader, we have to be fighting for the highest possible good of our people. That takes a mindset. That's what we're going to talk about, so let's get into it. Welcome to Leadership on the Run. Our leadership tool for today is called the Leader Mindset. Along the top, you'll see the phrase, fight for the highest possible good in the lives of those they lead. I think this tool works equally well at home. So I like to say, fight for the highest possible good in the lives of those they love and lead. It's a rallying cry to remind us what a healthy leadership mindset looks like. Armed with a proper mindset, you can coach your people up using the 3 steps outlined in the graphic. First is determine what kind of support or challenge they need from you right now. It's going to be different for everyone you love and lead. Some people are going to need more support, others more challenge. For some, support may look a certain way, and for others, completely different. Knowing your people will help determine what support or challenge looks like for each of them individually. You might recall our discussion on the support challenge matrix tool from episode 5. So calibrating the appropriate amount of support and challenge for each of your people will liberate them and help maximize their potential. Next, we want to determine what tendency is most undermining their influence at the moment. You might remember our conversation in episode 4 about tendencies. Sometimes it's easier to identify tendencies in others than it is for ourselves. And so we certainly don't want to approach this step like we've got it all together and all figured out, because we don't. We're all a work in progress when it comes to appropriately managing our tendencies. Approaching this step with an appropriate level of humility will help your people to know that you're for them and fighting for their highest possible good. Once we determine that negative tendency that's most undermining their influence, we want to call our people up to a higher level of performance. And notice I said call them up, not call them out. We've all been called out. There's a funny meme out there that says, "You can't hurt my feelings. I used to hold the flashlight for my dad." There was a generation that was great at calling out. And I have to admit, I've carried a little bit of that forward, but I'm working on it. Typically, we'll call people out when we're frustrated, stressed out, or tired. And it only leads to conflict and drama, disempowerment, stunted growth for our people. While that style of management, that dominating style of management, might give you a temporary spike in productivity, in the long run, you're going to significantly lose out on the productivity of your team and the culture within your team. But to call people up into their full potential communicates that you're for that person. It leads to greater collaboration, liberation, and it helps maximize the strength and ability of each member of the team. Ultimately, calling others up instead of out empowers people in a way that accelerates both short and long-term performance. It also creates a healthy and resilient culture for your team. Use the Know Yourself to Lead Yourself tool from episode 4 to help guide your conversation around tendencies. Let the tool do the heavy lifting. Finally, we want to be strategic. in thinking about what the next level looks like for each of our people, then we want to be intentional in how we can help them to get there. Far from simply being a boss, liberating leadership and coaching is really more like climbing a mountain, as indicated in the graphic. It's tough because it constantly requires us to go ahead of our people, clearing the path, and then reaching back to help them climb the mountain with us. It's hard, but it's worth it, and you're not alone. The Leader Mindset tool gives us a simple, scalable coaching framework that we can use to be a great coach to anyone we lead. Use it to set the standard in both mindset and process for how you build leaders worth following in your home and on your team. For those of you who have come along for the run, I seem to have gotten myself in a rut where if I don't get my run in first thing in the morning, I just can't seem to get it done. Even when I have the time to do it, I get all inside my head and can't seem to complete the prescribed workout for the day. Occasionally work or travel will require me to move my workout around, do it later in the day. And I need some tips from you guys on how you all get that done. Earlier this week, I had a leadership workshop early in the morning, and it pushed my workout to midday. Couldn't do it. Later this week, I'm traveling, and it's going to push one of my workouts till after we arrive where we're headed. That's in peril. Between the two runs, it could be 15 miles off my weekly mileage, which just so happens to be my mileage peak week for this training block. I'm going to need to hear from you in the comments below. How do you all manage that when you have to mix up the schedule a little bit? Does it derail you, or am I the only one? Hit me up. Call me up, but don't be calling me out. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for making it to the end of the video, and I'll see you next time. Until then, keep moving. And remember, no one gets better by accident. Great leaders are intentional.